Race weekend is here. Memorial Day weekend, the busiest weekend we have here in Indiana. So the forecast gets really important. I'm 13 News meteorologist Matt Standridge. We wanted to walk through some of the latest data that we're getting here on your Friday as we head into parade for Saturday, Legends Day Saturday, and then race day Sunday. High pressure has been our friend. In fact, for your Friday, we've broken the clouds up. My goodness, it's been a great week. Showers are out of here. Now, there is one small catch. We've been watching a couple very light showers and some extra clouds in parts of northern Michigan. They're slowly drifting to the south. Now, our high pressure here doesn't like rain, and so you can actually see them shriveling up. Could there be one or two little sprinkles over central Indiana for your Carb Day later this afternoon and evening? Sure, that definitely is possible. But we think Friday's looking pretty good. I'll show you some specifics here in a moment for your Carb Day forecast. But then we're really watching what's to our west. So this high pressure keeping us dry for Friday should also keep us dry for your Saturday. And then it should, for the most part, keep us dry for Sunday race day. I want to show you what I'm talking about. Look at this system. Look how it's producing some extra rain in the plains. And notice how they get a little bit closer to the high pressure. They weaken. They kind of shrivel up just a little bit. So you can actually see weather at work right now. That's pretty cool. This low pressure can't come right at Indiana for race day. In fact, this is kind of blocking it. What it's going to do is going to take a dive to the south, really impact the Ozarks and parts of the Tennessee River Valley. And then by race day Sunday, we could have some light showers for the southern half of Indiana, and there's a very small chance that one of them could get into Indy. But for the most part, high pressure is keeping us on the drier side. If we didn't have this, we could have, just a rainy day all day, but we think it should be able to keep the majority of the rain farther to the south. So this is what we're watching very closely. What's very nice is that now it's coming out of the Rockies and getting into the plains. We can actually diagnose it a little bit better. It's the same thing when we get a system in the Pacific. We can give you some details, but we really need to get over land so we get all these observations coming in. And the Rockies get a little bit tough on these systems. Once it gets out into the plains where we have a lot of observations, we can really start diagnosing this thing. So that's the gist of where we're going for your race weekend. So great Friday, only a 10% chance of a shower, and that would be after 3 o'clock. Highs in the 60s. That's one other thing. This high pressure is keeping kind of a block of some cooler air over us. For some folks, you live for this spring weather. You never want it to go away. For some who are looking for more summery weather, this isn't going to be your Memorial Day weekend for that. It's not going to be that classic pool or lake weekend, that first unofficial start to summer. But all the way through our Memorial Day, we will be on the cooler side. The question is, can you get a raindrop every once in a while? Very small chance on Friday. I think Saturday is dry. Sunday, there's also that low chance. We're down to about a 20% chance. We haven't eliminated it just yet, but we are trending on the drier side. We got to keep a close eye because rain is everything. When you're going over 230 miles per hour on that track, any little damp spot can cause slide outs, hydroplaning. It can get a mess out there, and we want to keep the drivers safe. So rain is a big deal. Rain should not be a big deal for your Carb Day here on a Friday. Now, it could have a light shower during the pit stop challenge. Mainly after the Weenie 500, that's at 2 o'clock, but it's going to be a beautiful day. In the 60s, we'll have the sun out. There'll be a couple extra clouds later this afternoon. You got to have some clouds to produce any rain chances, but first half of the day, we've been sunny. The second half of the day, clouds have been building, and we've been watching a couple of those light rain shower chances, very small. There's a 90% chance you don't get anything. So 10% across much of central Indiana. Can't rule it out, but we'll be watching. Nothing like what we've been dealing with, these body showers just on and off, nothing like that. All right, so now let's head into your Saturday. Big deal. We have so much going on. First off, parade. The festivities technically start at 11:45, but the parade begins right at noon, and we're expecting a lot of sun, mix of sun and clouds out there. We'll be on the cooler side. Parade's earlier in the afternoon, so we'll be in the low 60s still. If you're staying downtown a little bit longer, we'll be in those mid 60s. Or maybe you're headed to the Fever Game. Game Bridge just south of Monument Circle. There could be just some 60s out there, a few extra clouds, but I think we're looking really dry. And another thing is the wind is very weak, so that's good news as these floats are going by. Great weather. When there's a lot of people around you, 60s may actually feel pretty good. Just these cool mornings will kind of get you. And it's going to be a cool morning for Saturday morning, a cool morning for Sunday morning, another cool start for your Memorial Day. But at least the rain chances are low. I mean, we can't get rid of them completely, but they are on the lower side. Most of us stay dry Friday. Saturday just looks like it's going to be a dry day. I don't think we have to worry about Saturday. It's Sunday where we have that 20% chance, and I'll show you here in a moment some high-resolution data that's starting to come in for your Sunday. And then on Monday, Memorial Day, we're honoring our veterans and our fallen soldiers and heroes. Our rain chances are also lowered a bit. In fact, what's happened is we think this high pressure will kind of block the storm system that we were tracking out in the plains from moving too quickly. And so eventually it may kind of take over and give us more rain chances Tuesday and Wednesday. But Memorial Day is also trending on the drier side. For a second, it looked like it'd be a little bit wetter, but we're starting to push those chances off just a little bit of a touch. So here's Future Track 13, 8 o'clock Sunday morning. If you're not headed to the track, make sure you tune into WTHR. We'll have it on Plus too. We'll be talking about the weather. We'll be talking about folks coming in to the track. It's going to be a cool start. We'll have a mix of some clouds and a few sun breaks. There's some of that rain off to the south and west. Just notice how it's more concentrated by the Ozarks and the Ouachitas. We're not in that main zone. As we progress through the rest of the morning and into the afternoon, you can see some of those light showers trying to make their way northbound. They'll be very spotty in southern Indiana, and we can't rule out the chance of one of these meandering north and coming over the speedway for a hot second. So we'll have to keep that in mind. 1245, green flag, still kind of on the edge. But if we can keep it south at the track, we'd be great. But we'll have to watch it. This is why we can't completely rule it out yet. It's a little too close for comfort. And we're just looking at this data. It's not as if you're going to exactly memorize where the heaviest pockets of rain will be. That's not really the gist of what Future Track's trying to show you. It's just trying to show you kind of the concentration. Light concentration over the southern half of Indiana, a heavier concentration farther to the south and west. So that's why we have that small chance. But I think because we'll have sometimes a little bit more of a north wind where the clouds are, I think we'll be able to eat at the clouds just a little bit and maybe get a few breaks of sun throughout the day. Maybe just enough to remind you that, hey, weather's still nice here in Indiana, but maybe enough clouds to also keep you on the cooler side. Because I tell you what, it gets really hot there at the track. We have these 80-degree days. You're trying to drink as much water as possible, but there's just so many people around and it gets hot. So 60s may actually feel great. The overall system that we're watching is high pressure at work against the storm system with the jet stream. The jet stream is kind of what funnels where our heaviest rain chances are, because that's where the low pressures track, essentially. We think that jet stream stays farther to the south and west. It's not going to be over Indiana, so we can't have the highest rain chance. But when you get on the periphery, there's still these spotty rain shower chances. And here's high pressure. The one we had, it's about over Iowa for your Friday, Saturday, but it moves to the north and east for Sunday. It's going to try to keep everything at bay. So we're watching that closely. It's also a cooler high pressure, so it's not going to be drastically warm, but it will be on the cooler side. So we're kind of right on the edge of things. So that's why the forecast gets tricky, and that's why, maybe you're looking up a forecast online or on a certain app, and one day it says spotty shower chance, and then the other day it says partly cloudy, the other day it says mostly cloudy. That's why there's a difference, because we're trying to resolve how things are looking. Now, speaking of the cooler weather, which some folks may be a huge fan, now we have to watch those tires. They want it a little bit warmer, but after a cool start in the morning, these are your coolest Indy 500 afternoons that we've had. There's only been one race that was in the 50s, 1992. The rest of the time we've been in the 60s. If we can stay at 66, we're tied for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're tied for, I believe I counted right, maybe 7th place there. If we're 67, we're out of the top 10 for the coolest Indy 500 afternoons. Essentially, it is one of our cooler ones. It's probably our coolest one since 2003. All the other times we've really been in the 70s and 80s. So we haven't had it this cool in a while. Here's your 7-day forecast. It's kind of a cheat sheet as well, because I can put all the different events on there. My goodness, it's a busy weekend. Hope you and your family have a safe Memorial Day weekend. If you are headed out to a lake, just know that it's not going to be one of the warmest lake days out there. We'll have a mix of clouds and some sun breaks over these 4 days. The best chances of rain will be a very small one on Friday for Carb Day in the afternoon and evening. Small chances for some light showers here and there around the track on Sunday, and maybe a couple more on Memorial Day Monday. I think the heavier rain doesn't really start moving in until Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we start warming up. In fact, our average high this time of year is 75. So if you've got some family and friends, they're visiting Indianapolis maybe for the first time, they're headed to their first Indy 500. We also have a lot of folks internationally here. In fact, it's been fun to reach out to people who have been there at the track even so far, and they'll let you know, hey, I met someone from Sweden that's out there. So that's a lot of fun. Typical Indiana weather for May should be in the mid-70s. So we are on the cooler side, but I think we may have a good weekend. Just have to watch out for some of these small chances, and we'll keep updating you as we get a little bit closer. But of course, make sure you keep it here, keep it local. As always, We'll keep you advised.